Hi there. I'm Amy with Eclectica Studio and Gifts, and I am here today filming these videos that I have created to go along with this year's Easter egg kits. They're wooden Easter egg kits that I've put together mainly because we are going through a situation where egg prices have been extremely high, and I know it's, you know, sick, chickens, all that kind of stuff that we've been dealing with. But um, with high egg prices, and I know they expect them to go down, I still think there's nothing wrong with being prepared and having a fun activity for the kids. If you cannot afford those eggs at Easter time, you can afford these. The plus side to that is these eggs that we're going to create here, these wooden eggs. Once you have them done, they can go out and sit out all season long. They're not going to go bad. They're not going to rot. And they can be a commemorative piece for years to come. So I have just done this much of this one as an example. This one is just a simple painted egg. And we're going to add to this one today. But we're going to create a painted egg here to show you the process that I took there. Before doing that, I'm going to show you real quick if Jason can help us out by panning over and taking a look at the egg kit. This is the kit you will get if you order our kits. So it is a dozen eggs in a carton, and there will be paint pouches included with that. I don't have them here with the kit at this time, but it'll be all the things that you need. There will not be brushes included. The reason I don't include the brushes is I want you to use better quality brushes than what I can afford to do at these price ranges. So the other option I do have is we have a kit, and it's in this glass mason jar. This is available on the website, allthingseclectica.com. It has an assortment of different brush sizes, really great quality brushes. These are what I use to teach my paint party classes, and I can pretty much teach any painting with the 3 brushes that come in these kits. There are, in most of these kits, an extra 2 small brushes that I've included as a bonus. Of course, if you get on this video after the first 12 of these have sold, you're not going to get those brushes because this video will last much longer than the special. But it's really great because it is in this jar. I do this jar because this is how I use my paint water. I use a mason jar that cannot be used for anything else. We do not can in these mason jars. We do not drink water out of the mason jars. This is our paint water jar. And then in addition to that, there is a label on the inside of these jars that explains how to take care of your brushes. So it is a great buy, $15 on the website. And that will get you these 3 brushes that I'm working with today. And you will see how perfect they are for this project. So we're going to get things started. And like I said, this is the finished egg. This is what we're striving for. And what we're doing here is we are taking the paint as it is just directly out of the pouches and putting it directly on the egg. This is about maybe 2 coats. And the characteristics you will get from this is it will be a very consistent all over paint. It will not show through. You will not see the wood grain. I mean, there's a couple spots that it's got a lot of texture to it, so I can see a slight amount of wood grain. But for the most part, this is just going to be an opaque, dark, pigmented egg. And on another video we will present to you, you will get to see what you do when we turn it into a whitewash or a color wash, however you want to call it. But what I'm going to do here is I've got one of the eggs as they come in your kit. No special instructions on what to do once you get it. You just get it. I'm taking my largest of the brushes, so it's a 1-inch flat brush. And if you don't have 1 inch, this can be done with a smaller brush. I do have a regular rounded tip that it's a smaller brush. If I didn't have this, I would go for that just because it's what I have. I don't I mean, if you're going to paint a lot, go ahead and buy the kits. But if this is a one and done, get some cheap brushes. But I'm just starting off and I'm painting around with that brush. And as you can see, the paint goes on beautifully. It just, and I'm going to drop it because I'm wild like that. Because this is, you know, me filming a video. Why would everything go perfect, right? So I got the top half of it painted and one coat went on beautifully. So normally I would just wait and watch it and let it dry. I'm going to set down the brush for just a second because we're not done by any means. But I am going to quickly dry this just so that I can go forward. Does not take long to dry acrylic paint at all. To the touch, I can flip that around. I put my fingers where I've already painted and just try not to touch an area that's tacky or anything. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go back and we're going to combine the line, kind of fade it out so that you don't have a stark line there, and continue painting. This is just about the simplest thing that we can do. Be sure that you have table coverings down. Be sure that you have paper towels available. And depending on the age of the kids you're working with, this is a great thing for kids because this much of it any age can really do. And how much does it really matter if it's perfect? You know, I'm a perfectionist. I'm professional. I should be. But let the kids just go in there, and if they want to paint it all over one color, and then after it's dry, take a Sharpie to it and write their name on it. Or if they want to draw with paint pens, there's so many options that you can do. And we're going to share a lot of those things on some of these other videos I'm making. We are doing 3 videos for 2023. And it's quite likely that if these go well in 2023, we will continue making these egg kits for years to come. And if that is the case, we'll have some additional videos every year so that there's more ideas. Let me go ahead and just shoot some air. It's fairly well dry. And that is a point where I'll just look and I'll see, okay, I see a little tiny bit there that I'm going to go over where my finger was, and just keep looking and see. Just get it to where it's as perfection as you are seeking. And we've got it. I'm going to set this aside. We're not going to paint on this one today. This will be for a future class. I might do it when I'm doing some of the details in some of these other videos. But be sure to swoosh your brush in the water immediately. And then at this point, we're going to go to the next step. We have taught you how to do a wash. You could do all 12 of your eggs just like that. And you are going to have beautiful eggs, as you can see. But what we're going to show you now is I'm going to show you how to turn this egg into a cross. So I'm going to get my brush just slightly wet and I'm going to shape it. This has been a brush that I've used many, many times. I've got it tightened up there. And what we're going to do now, I lost my inspiration photo. There we go. I am going to paint the cross. And so we start off with that little bit of paint at the tip. And we're going to do a line going down. And then I'm going to take more and do a line. I'm sorry, I got to look at this myself for a second. And I'm going to do a line going across. And just get it to where I like it. Do I need to come closer? We good?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. So it's real loose the way I have it on there. I just have those 2 spots, 2 lines. I'm filling them in a little bit, just kind of making them look as even as possible. And then I'm going to quickly just kind of wash off that brush. I didn't use the brush for much of anything. But the next thing I'm going to do is I want to have some uniform little circle-y things on the ends. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the end of my brush and I'm going to stick it in the white paint. And I'm going to come up to the top and put a dot. And I'm going to put a dot on either side. Show you how that turned out. Can you see that there on that top one? So I got a dot in the middle and then a dot on each side. I'm going to do that on the two other sides too. I'm going to kind of hold it upside down for a split second. It gives me a better angle. So dot. Got to get a little bit more paint. A dot and a dot. So as you can see, it got one there. And I'm going to do it on the other end. Got to get more paint. One thing you always need to remember is after you do dots, wipe off the brush handle. I don't know how many times I can say my people in paint parties leave paint on the back of their brushes and then it makes a mess for me. So be sure to wipe off that brush handle. And now what we're going to do, we've got the basic shape of the cross, but I'm not 100% thrilled with it. I'm going to take a little bit more of that white paint and I'm going to bring the little dots into the shape of the cross. I'm going to just make it go a little bit further down. The bottom doesn't matter, so don't obsess over the bottom because we're going to do more down there. But just make this nice and clean, as straight of a line as you can do. This can be painted if you're afraid of doing it with brushes. You can also do this with paint pens. And so we're going to move this paint here in. Again, until we like the shape of the cross. And it's all going to be fairly uniform. I mean, I know we are talking about an old rugged cross when we're talking about any crosses of faith, but we're just free-handed. We're having a good time. This is a nice little Eastery cross. I would say I probably could have gone a little higher with it, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna just freehand, go a little bit higher. Not much higher. Just building up the top of it. See what I did there? Just built it up a little bit more. So once that's done, again, go ahead and wash your brush real quick. And I'm going to shoot this with just a little bit of air for a moment. Does not take long. And so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put some grass in the picture. And we're going to paint some flowers along the bottom. So it's real nice and Eastery. I'm going to take my tiny detail brush, the smallest one you have, and put a little bit of water on it. Wipe off that water. We're doing the same thing. We're trying to make a very tight point. And we're going to pick up some green paint. We're going to make grass blades. And so we're going to just be very free with them. And I'm going to have to look at it for just a second to make sure I'm symmetrical and getting enough. You can see that there. I'm going to add a few more blades of grass. And the colors that we have chosen for these kits are very Eastery, very pastel. You're welcome to use your own paint. You know, you don't have to use what came in the kit. You can go to your store. Almost every retail store is going to have at least some different acrylic paint options. So just get a craft acrylic paint. They come in these 2-ounce bottles. I'm not going to show you the brand because I'm not going to tell you which brand you have to get. But you can just pick up some of those in whatever colors you want. Then the sky's the limit on what you can create. This is really set up to be just an introductory. But so we've got the blades of grass. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put in just a couple little yellow spots. So this is going to be some of the just different little flowers. I'm going to put tiny little flowers right here. And then I'm going to go over on this side and do a couple tiny little yellow flowers. Just really tiny. I mean, that's very small stuff. And you'll see how quickly this is going to go together. I think I'm going to do a third one of those in the center. So we're going to go tiny. Sorry, I can't show you directly. There we go. Clear that off. And now we're going to go, we've got blue and we've got purple to add to it still. So the blue, I'm going to do a different technique. I'm going to do 3 little spots all together. So it's 1, 2, 3 to make that little flower. And I'm going to do the same over here. I don't know, those might be tulips. Yep. Blue tulips. It can happen. And then just put 3 there. So I've got 4. Try to do everything in odd numbers. You're going to be happier with the results. There, I've got 5 of that little flower. And I'm going to wash that off. Now we're going to come in with the purple, the lavender. So with the lavender, I'm going to kind of treat it like it is a little bit lavender. So just come in there and do a little bit of a fuzzy little area. Just fuzzy, fuzzy, little fuzzy. How's that look? I think that's looking pretty good. So wash that off again. I want to give a little bit more attention to the cross. I think it's really pretty, but I'm going to put some dots in it. And what I'm going to do is, originally we used this brush, which is our round tipped brush, to make those circles on the cross. We're not going to use that one this time. We're going to use the back end of the smaller brush. It's a smaller back end. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a purple. Each time you dip this in the purple, you can only get 3 dots out of it. So dip, and then we're going to come up to the top, and we're going to make a dot right there. I'm sorry, I got to show it to you upside down again. We're going to put one right there next to it, and we're going to put one right there. Then we're going to do the same thing. Dip in. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to come over here, same thing. I probably should have dipped in the paint first, but we'll redo that one. 1, 2, 3. That one kind of bled together a little bit, but I can either fix it with a little bit of paint once it dries, or just embrace the chaos. So at this point, it's all up to you. If you like the dots, you can put dots on the outside. You can do more dots through the center. I think I'm going to do a little line of dots going down the center. So I did 7 more. Got to get a little bit more paint on that last one. What do you think? I think I might do them along the arms too. So we'll do 1, 2 on each arm of the cross. There we have it. So we have completed, that is our project for today. We just did a simple cross with some floral accents for Easter. And you have learned 2 techniques then. You've done the wash, or the full paint of your egg, and then we finished it off with the cross. We will then do a few more videos, and I can't guarantee they'll all be uploaded at the same time, but this is going to be on here for ages. So find it when you find it. Look for the next video. Video 2 will be a color wash, and then we're going to paint some roses. And then video 3 is going to consist of some techniques using additional sources. So we're going to teach you how to dye the wooden eggs, and we're going to work with some paint pens. So that's what we've got for this year planned up, and I'm looking forward to making a few more fun videos for you. Let me know, leave a comment, let me know what you think of this. Let me know if you made these, let me know if you got the kits. And if you've done these, I would love to see pictures. You can always send them through our social media with Facebook or Instagram, but you also can capture us at contacteclectica@yahoo.com. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon. Bye.